Hey, Cancer, Cancer rising, sun, and moon. Let's get into your August horoscope. So, this month really strikes at the root of your chart. It is definitely hitting the core of your chart. So you can't hide from this, Cancer. So, on August 4th, this is going to be your house. Mars is going to be entering into Libra in your natal fourth house, your foundation, your lineage, your home. And this doesn't always feel cozy. There can be conflicts at the core. There can be old family patterns that arise. There can be tensions in your family life. You feel very agitated, even a little bit invaded. You can feel off centered. You can feel like you're not in a safe place that it's supposed to protect you. It's not just that it's happening in your external world. Mars and Libra makes you look at how you've been compromising your emotional peace just to keep the peace. And you start suddenly snapping at those that are around you, your family, or you may realize that someone else's control is disguised as care. Either way, the mask falls off at home, Cancer, right? On August 9th, Mars is opposing Saturn in Neptune in Aries. And this definitely feels like a pressure cooker, right? Because this is your 10th house versus your fourth house. It feels as though fourth house versus your, just opposing. And this feels as though your private self is versing your public self. The parts of you that want to feel safe and the parts of you that need to show up strong. Saturn in your 10th house puts pressure on your career, your reputation, your legacy. And Neptune in your 10th house as well can blur the lines, right? You can feel as though you're not sure about what you're building anymore. Mars in your 4th house can feel as though you want to retreat, but it's not a restful place. You can feel stuck between burnout, emotional depletion. This is where you realize I can't be the backbone to everything anymore. You either take responsibility for your own stability, Cancer, or you either continue letting your past sabotage into your future. On the 9th, we also have the full moon in Aquarius. The full moon in Aquarius, this lights up your natal 8th house. And this is a house of your shared resources, power, dynamics, debts, emotional entanglements, intimacy, power, like I said, sex. And this moon can really be cutting cords. You can either see that something ends financially, emotionally, or this energetic bond ends. There can be a relationship that may hit a breaking point, or a trauma response that has been going on for so long and it finally snaps. This moon is detached, because the moon in Aquarius feels very detached, very uncomfortable. It feels very cold, but it's necessary. It forces you to look at what you have been or who have you been merging with, and whether it's draining you or it's empowering you, Cancer. Okay, Mercury is going direct in your natal second house, in Leo, and this really turns an eye to your money systems, your values, your possession. And if it's been confusion or delays around income, contracts, payments, things might start like moving forward again now. More importantly, your value systems become more clear again. You're done overvaluing your voice, and you know what you have to offer, and now you say it with your chest and you price it accordingly, and you start saying things with better self-esteem, Cancer, and start choosing yourself and choosing your own value. On August 12th, Venus is going to be conjuncting Jupiter in your sign in Cancer. This one is very big for you because it's happening in your natal first house, right? And these signs joining together is pretty rare. This is your glow up transit. I feel as though there's a lot of attractiveness, visibility, expansion, and this can also call for overindulgent, even this ego being infatuated, or Oh my gosh, Cancer. No, it's like not your ego infatuated, but your ego is definitely inflated. People are projecting everything onto you. I can feel. So this is a powerful moment, so definitely use it wisely. And if you've been hiding, Cancer, this alignment pulls you straight into like the spotlight. If you've been chasing love externally, this shows you where the source of love has been coming from all along, which is you. Which is the part of you that is, the mother, the lover, the nurturer, the guide. Cancer, you are the divine mother, the divine feminine. That is the deepest portal of love that we can feel, for ourselves, and other people can see that of us and want to take advantage. So just be careful not to fall into false security and sugarcoat, your delusion. On the 22nd, the sun is going to be entering into Virgo, and this this is going to focus on your natal third house, your communication, your mind. And now it's time for you to speak how you want, write what you want, teach, text, share. Every word is going to matter now. This is a great time for you to tighten up your message, clean up your, online presence if you have online presence. But really, it's like streamlining your voice, owning back your voice, because you're also gonna have a new moon in the third house as well. This is new conversations, new contracts, new writing projects. It's a clean slate, but only if you're willing to let go of these outdated languages that you have used to explain yourself. This is a chance for you, Cancer, to really speak clearer, cleaner, with real conviction. And if it doesn't align with your current mind, don't say it anymore. Don't even entertain the thoughts in your head. On August 25th, Venus is going to be entering into your natal second house in Leo. And this is going to be asking you to, this is the money house. This is the house of self-worth. And this is going to ask you, do you feel worthy of what you're attracting? Now the attention turns towards how you treat your resources. Are you investing in things that reflect your value? Are you holding back from building wealth because you're scared of who you'll become, or what you have to let go of in order to really reach resources, or in order to really reach the peak of abundance? Sometimes you do have to let things go. And and this is luxury that meets labor. You have to build from the bottom up. You've got what you need, and you've got to know what you're worth, and then you need to move like a Cancer. Okay, this month is a confrontation between like the past that raised you and the future that you're trying to build. Your roots get really rocked, you know what I'm saying? And your public image gets challenged, your values get twisted, and you have, like, this month you have to find and you have to choose emotional sovereignty over emotional survival. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You don't need to have a perfect home, you just need to have a true one. And starting inside of your own body, this is something that is coming from you. As I said, you are filled with the truest portal of love, and love is the highest frequency. So when it comes to like taking care of yourself, when it comes to valuing yourself, Cancer, that will never come from an outside source. It will only come from you, and it is a part of you, and other people see that in you, and sometimes they want to take it from you, or they try to build it on you, or they twist it around it on you. But I think this month your values definitely get straightened, and you see how they have been twisted upon you, or things have been flipped and turned on you, right? And so that's all I have for you, Cancer. I hope that was helpful. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, please, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, Cancer.